But to be honest, after Master Joe achieved financial freedom, he rarely read Robert Kiyosaki's books anymore. Although in 2019, Master Joe also invited Robert Kiyosaki to China for a speech. After listening to his lecture, Master Joe felt that his level was as high as his teacher's. Master Joe believed that his achievements at that time were not inferior to his teacher's, right? Although there was a difference of 1 digit between the net worth of Master Joe and Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki was 72 years old at that time, while Master Joe was in his 30s. Master Joe believes that when he reaches the age of his teacher, Robert Kiyosaki, he will also become billionaire. But when Master Joe was about to record the training camp for everyone this time, when he reread the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, he really understood how he and his teacher Robert Kiyosaki differed in that regard. Without exaggeration, if you can understand the content that Master Joe is going to talk about next, every one of you can become a billionaire. This is the first lesson that Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad taught him. Poor people and the middle class work for money and become slaves to money for their entire lives, while the rich do not work for money. Robert Kiyosaki asked his rich dad countless times, "I want you to teach me how to make money." And his rich dad told Robert Kiyosaki countless times, "I'm not interested in teaching you how to make money, and I'm not interested in teaching you how to make a lot of money either." When Robert Kiyosaki was in his 30s, he went bankrupt and he was impoverished, even to the point of having no place to live. He went back to his rich dad again, hoping to borrow money from him. And his rich dad once again told him, "Money cannot solve any of your problems." Now, Master Joe wants to ask a few questions for you to ponder in your hearts. What do you think financial intelligence is really about? What kind of academic discipline do you believe financial intelligence truly is? Master Joe believes that everyone's answer in their hearts is that financial intelligence is about teaching you how to make money. No, financial intelligence doesn't teach you how to make money. Instead, it teaches you how to use money to help you make money. Can everyone understand this sentence? Financial intelligence doesn't teach you how to make money. If you want to learn how to make money, you will definitely look for a job to earn money, because finding a job is the fastest way to make money. And then you become a slave to money because you are working for money, not the other way around. Next, we officially enter the first lesson of Robert Kiyosaki meeting his rich dad. It is said that the 9-year-old little Robert was born into a middle-class family, but he went to an aristocratic school. He was the poorest student in the class. In class, his classmates mocked him, saying, "Look at your old clothes. You don't have a new baseball cap. You don't have a new bicycle." One day, the 9-year-old Robert ran to his father and asked, "Dad, can you teach me how to make money?" His father was a university teacher. The poor dad he mentioned. His father said, "I don't know how to make money. How could I? I can't teach you." Then Robert Kiyosaki left. After that, he kept thinking in his mind every day about how he could make money and become a rich man. Suddenly, he found that there was another poor child in the class besides him. The child's name was Mike, and he was the son of the rich dad. Robert Kiyosaki said to Mike, "We are the poorest in the whole school. Can we start a business together and make money?" Mike said yes. The two of them started thinking. After thinking for a long time, what should we do? Suddenly, they remembered, didn't we have a science class that taught us how coins are made? The two children started doing business together. What did they do? They knocked on doors one by one, asking, "Do you have any used toothpaste tubes at home? Can you give me the used toothpaste tubes?" At that time, toothpaste tubes made of a kind of metal material. So they knocked on doors one by one and the adults gave them to them. After getting them, they took a 1-cent mold and melted the toothpaste tubes with fire. They poured the molten liquid into the mold, and then, with a click, the coin was made. Both of them were very excited, saying, "Oh my God, look at us! We're going to be rich soon!" And they were still working hard and enthusiastically. At this time, the poor dad found out and came to their coin-making thing, a large-scale fake money-making thing. He said to the children, "What are you doing? We are becoming rich people." Then the poor dad said no. "It's illegal for you to do this." He told them that only the government, the Federal Reserve, and banks can issue currency. It is illegal for them to issue currency, print money or make money. Then the confidence of the two children was instantly shattered, and they felt very painful. However, seeing that the two children were quite diligent, the poor dad said, "Well, if you want to learn how to make money, I really don't know. You can go and ask Mike's father. Mike's father can teach you how to make money." Robert said, "Mike's family is also poor. How can he teach me how to make money?" At this time, the poor dad said, "Mike's father owns convenience stores, a construction company, and 2 warehouses. I think he will be a very wealthy person in the future." Then Robert Kiyosaki was very excited. He asked Mike to go home and talk to his father about whether he could teach them how to make money. Mike went home and told his father. After listening to Robert Kiyosaki's story, the rich dad was very shocked and agreed. The next day, the 9-year-old little Robert and Mike went to Rich Dad's house and waited for him for a long time because Rich Dad was working at home. The supermarket supervisor and the construction company supervisor were reporting to him. After waiting for 3 hours, he finally met Rich Dad in person. After seeing Rich Dad asked Robert Kiyosaki, "Do you want to learn how to make money from me?" Robert Kiyosaki said yes. Rich Dad said, "Okay, I can teach you, but I have a condition. You need to work for me for 3 hours every Saturday. I won't let you work for nothing. Help me clean my convenience store every hour. I will pay you both 10 cents per hour. Work for 3 hours and earn 30 cents. Then Robert Kiyosaki thought, 30 cents is too little, not even enough to buy a baseball. His rich dad said, "You can choose to refuse or accept. Remember, sometimes opportunities come just in a flash. If you seize it, you seize it. If you miss it, you never have a second chance in your life." After his rich dad said that, Robert Kiyosaki said, "I'm willing." Since then, the 9-year-old Robert sacrificed his weekend rest time and started working for his rich dad. After working for more than a month, he was angry. He told Mike, "Your dad promised to teach me, but I haven't seen him at all. Your dad doesn't teach me. He's a liar." After returning home, Robert Kiyosaki told his father about this situation. His father, who was a teacher and understood the law and worked for the government, was even more angry. He told Robert Kiyosaki, "You should go to Mike's dad immediately and ask him to raise your salary to at least 30 cents an hour. Otherwise, you could sue him." So Robert told Mike, "I want to see your dad." And he saw his rich dad for the second time. Listen carefully. Here comes the climax. Mark the key points on the blackboard. If you can understand the following paragraph, you will avoid the most important trap in life, which is the trap of becoming poor. It is because of the trap that countless people have struggled in the mire of finance for a lifetime and never come out. Robert Kiyosaki met his rich dad for the second time and waited at the door for 3 or 4 hours. Finally, after his rich dad had finished his work, he met him. Robert Kiyosaki was almost crying. The rich dad asked, "Are you looking for me?" What do you want to talk about? Robert said, You are a liar. The townspeople are right. You are a liar. At this point, Master Zhou wants to say something to you. Do you know that in the eyes of ordinary people, those rich people are all liars? Not only in China, but also in the United States. At this time, Rich Dad didn't get angry and asked, What did I cheat on you? Robert said, You said you would teach me how to make money if I worked for you. You let me work for you for more than a month, but you didn't teach me anything. You pay me so little salary. Don't forget that my father works for the government. If you don't give me a raise, I'll go to the labor bureau and sue you. At this time, Rich Dad smiled and said, It's good, it's good. Your current state is like those employees who have worked for me for more than 3 years. Robert Kiyosaki said, You are still mocking me. You are a liar. Rich Dad asked Robert, How did I cheat you? Robert said, You promised to teach me, but you didn't teach me anything. Rich Dad replied, I have been teaching you all the time. Robert said, I haven't seen you for more than a month. You haven't said a word to me. What have you taught me? Rich Dad said, Do I have to speak to teach? Learning here is different from learning in school. Teachers in school teach you with their mouths. I'm not teaching you with the same methods at school. I'm letting life teach you. Remember, child, life is the greatest teacher. It's everywhere. Each of us lives in it. When you slack off, he will slap you and say, Wake up, you need to learn something new. If you wake up and learn new skills, your life will get better and better. But if you don't wake up, he won't just gently slap you, he will hit you hard. If you still don't wake up, he will kick you hard until you wake up. So, in this world, there are 2 types of learners, active learners and passive learners. What is active learning? It means learning before life, the teacher slaps you. Some people refuse to wake up even when life brutally tramples and beats them, and they still blame others and complain about fate. How can a 9-year-old child understand this? Robert said, You are just making excuses. You just don't want to give me a raise. At this point, Rich Dad said again, Stop complaining. If you continue to complain, you will learn nothing because you will think the problem is with me. You want to change me. Listen, child, you can never change anyone in the world. Changing yourself is godlike, while trying to change others is insanity.